right now?
No, sadly, I'm
Wow.
not that good at Magic.
Oh,
All right, sweet. Man, that would have been good content.
hello. I think we might have been live.
That's fine. If people know our painkiller secret.
Painkiller secret, yes. Of
Let's
course.
see.
When we hit the pothole.
Hello, Shat.
Yo, there we are.
Shat.
Damn, you got the screen and the logo. Let's go, dude.
Yeah, very epic.
That's sounds good.
Okay.
I forgot to fix the size of the text boxes, so I'm gonna do that real quick.
Chat only.
Let's just
Hello,
chat on the
hello. Hello, everybody. Yeah, today the job is your guys's. We're not gonna do anything. It's just you guys. Sorry.
See.
Chat, what's your first order of business? You have to make the first decision.
There you go. That's some chats up.
Good, doing good. How do I make it so that only chat is up? I want to get rid of everything else.
Good question.
Pop out chat. Boom.
Yeah, there you go. Seeing a lot of returning faces. Hello, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, it's gamer morning time.
This is Gamer Morning. Legendary refresh pulse. So true. Oh my, oh me, oh my.
Hello, everyone. I do want to give a bit of a. I feel like we were delayed on this one. I want to give a bit of a. No, it's not too late to submit. It's not too late to submit. If you guys are a YouTube member or a Twitch subscriber, go to the Discord, link your accounts, go look for the pin post of the membership channel. What's up, Zach?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry. I thought you were saying something. There is a good reason we were a little late on this one. We were going to do like a cool, like Strixhaven release stream kind of vibe, but the dates kind of moved on us, so we were holding out for a bigger, better stream. But ultimately, it didn't really work out. So sorry about that, guys. I hope you don't mind having just a little patience. And hey, obviously we're here, so we're still engaged, but we're trying to do better, and it fell through. And hey, I mean that's just how life is.
Yeah, sometimes you plan to do a thing, and then the world says, "Nuh-uh, no, thank you."
Yeah. It's like, no, go back to your table. It's like, I
But that's okay because we still have the deck review stream, and anyone who wants to have their decks reviewed by the absolute giga brains, me and Ryan. You guys are so lucky to have us around.
Well, I was gonna say we're lucky to have them around, but that's someone. You know what? Someone's getting lucky. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Somebody's getting lucky. I don't know who.
It could be anyone.
But it's someone here.
Oh man,
This is the best I'm gonna be able to do. Hello.
yeah, regular crowd shuffling in. I'm seeing the names. Okay, did you see what Edgar Allan Swole said for the first order of business?
Put Guillaume in a kiss the chef apron. I see.
I agree. That's a good one. I agree.
That's fair. That sounds like a really good cosplay.
Actually does sound like a great cosplay.
It sounds like the perfect cosplay. Hello. Yeah, so if you want to submit to the deck random thing, you super can. You just have to link your accounts and stuff. I just watched the entire Stop Killing Games EU Parliament meeting this morning. I watched all 45 minutes of it. So basically, the guy, I think his name is R. Scott, went in front of EU Parliament with a bunch of other representatives and talked about how the Stop Killing Games movement is trying to make so that in EULA agreements, basically, you don't it's really crazy to say at any point we can just take back this product and you don't have any right to say anything about it. And
Based.
the biggest point from like all of the representatives were like, if we had a EULA agreement for like books, this shit would never get through anything ever. And at this point, video games are culture. They are a part of history, and rejecting that is insane. And I want to say that during the parliament, during the presentation, one of the representatives, it was a lady that I forget where she was from or what representation she was doing, but basically her entire speech was full of like verbal references to games, which the first one I heard, I was like, oh no, this is going to be a little cringe. By the end of it, I was like, this is such a perfect representation as how video games are culture. Like, so many people didn't understand what she was saying, and so many people did. And I feel like that's what culture is like people knowing things together and being able to celebrate, that kind of stuff together. And
That's pretty cool.
it basically ended out where the presiding either judge or like cabinet member of the parliament was like, yeah, this is pretty clear that like video games are being treated differently, and if we want to actually support like a consumer forward market, then we have to do something. And I don't think that it was a lot of like, okay, this is what we're putting into action right now, but it was basically saying like, we're taking your petition, we heard it, we are going to move forward on writing legislation because it's clear that this is something that we need to work on based on all of the representation here. So awesome job to EU Parliament for taking that seriously, and all the representatives who spoke on behalf of Stop Killing Games. It was really, really cool. Yeah, EU Commission is going to review the copyright stuff in July. So it's really, really cool.
Cool. That's good news for, I think, people.
Yeah. Gamers rise up in the most literal sense.
How long until we have an all gamer government?
A boy can dream, can't they? Can't you? Can't we?
Would that be a good thing?
Couldn't be bad. There's definitely no bad stereotypes having to do with gamers.
It couldn't be bad. It couldn't be bad.
Hello, everybody.
Oh yeah, people are definitely submitting their decks. That's for sure.
All right, thank goodness. All right, what do we think? Do we want to give a wheel a spin and we can start looking at some paper?
We can get going.
Yippee. Let's see it. Whoa, Tylenol. We were just talking about Tylenol. I have the deck present.
Ooh.
All right.
Okay, I said I was probably going to be muted for the stream, but I was looking at this deck list earlier, and there's a couple things I want to point out about it.
Okay, hold on. If you did your homework, jump in. Go ahead.
This says it can compete, hold its own in brackets 2 to 4, but this is probably at best a bracket 3. This deck benefits off your opponents taking game actions. Every single card would benefit. I found myself not being able to close games, so I added vegetables and finishers. All right. So this is a Leonardo and Michelangelo deck.
If a deck can hold its own in bracket 4, don't play it in bracket 2. I think it's...
in bracket 2, yeah.
Don't do that. If people say bracket 2 and you pull out this, don't do that.
Yep.
The other thing, this deck has 97. This deck has 97 cards in it.
Ah, good. Interesting. Okay, so in my mind, this deck would be eating food and doing 1/1 counters, right? And then swinging out with a bunch of creatures.
You know what's interesting though about that, Zach, is like I feel like 99% of the time I agree with your sentiment because that's just like I think universally true. But there's a bunch of cards that are bad in bracket 2, like monologue tax, like bracket 2 people. Maybe they're just playing like a big guy and like stack interaction. Sometimes they're maybe just playing like a creature, so like force of negation or whatever is just not going to matter. I don't see a lot of those cards in here. And I do see a lot of cards that make a lot happen, like Mr. Cabbage Merchant. But yeah, it's just there's so many just generally good cards in here. You know what I mean?
I think that's fair. I think that if in bracket 2 someone turn 1 Esper Sentinel'd me or played Sorin the Dark Lord and I was playing like a Images of Frogs tribal, I would be pretty sad. But it doesn't mean that this is guaranteed to pop off. It's just like, man, really?
Yeah.
Carpet of Flowers.
Right, but did you read the name of the deck?
Whenever an opponent, yes, please. Ah, I see.
Yeah, that's good. Good call, chat. Good call, chat.
Whenever an opponent puts one or more counters on a creature they control, they put the same number and kind of counters on Bold Plagiarist. Oh, interesting.
You know, to be honest though, I think that this might be a failing of the bracket system more than the deck, because they really did just jam every card that says your opponent makes a choice in here into the deck, which is based obviously because like you're not doing anything, they're doing it to themselves. You know, so much of the bracket 3 and 4 denominator relies on like really powerful cards that are on a particular list that, you know, is obviously all inclusive and has no weaknesses. And then also like infinite combos and stuff like that. And you guys have seen my bracket 2 hell decks. Like they're terrible. Yep. They're terrible.
Yep.
Like, and deflect is
this
fun.
is
Not
really
even a changer anymore.
Yeah. Wow, this is really funny. I can imagine how much suffering it is to play this deck and to forget one trigger. Like, man, you are giving yourself a part-time job when you are playing this deck. Whenever, so there's like cast first spell, cast instant or sorcery, make token, put counter, gain life, opponent upkeep on every opponent upkeep, every end step, whenever attack. Oh no, this is so tough. Second spell each turn. Whenever they play a land. Whenever a creature is put into an opponent's graveyard. Golly. I'm getting a headache just looking at this.
You know, how do you feel about Flawless Maneuver?
How do I feel about Flawless Maneuver? That's a good question. There's so many copies of a card like Flawless Maneuver that I need to remember exactly what it does before I give an opinion.
It's just instant free. Creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn if you have your commander. So it's deflecting swap, but indestructible. I've never seen this card get. I've never seen this card get played like fairly. It's always like board wipe, hold priority, blow out the entire game.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, it's hard because I feel like there's so much stuff in the maybe and sideboard, you know?
Yeah,
I'm having trouble even looking through the deck, to be honest.
I like deck creation like this where they put the obviously strong cards in the sideboard or the maybe board so that they know like the core of the deck and then like how to go up or down. And you know what's funny is like I think the reason that this deck holds its own in bracket 4 is because they have Lotho, Wandering Archaic, like you said, Esper Sentinel, and all the other cards that give like value based on the amount of shit your opponent's doing. But like at its core, I guess if your opponent plays one big uncounterable green guy every turn, like what does this deck do?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think that this deck probably loses a lot to decks that actually run synergy. This deck seems that you literally, which I think that maybe this is the point of the deck, you literally just looked up win an opponent like on Scryfall and then just put all the cards in here. And it just so happens that a lot of powerful cards do stuff on opponents' turns because that's what's good about them. Something that a lot of chat is saying, this person's getting shot collared often.
Yeah,
they're getting zapped. Holy, they're getting zapped.
Did you see how many counter spells are in the deck?
No, I did not.
It's because there aren't any.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, what the?
Let's just put it this way. If you took the bracket thing off the top and you asked me to gauge this thing on strength and vibes, I'd put it probably on the upper end of 3. I mean, I don't see any like real interaction, which is, you know, maybe like some decks want to do that on the upper end. But like, I feel like if you go up against one counterspell deck with like a decent amount of card draw, like I don't think you do anything.
Yeah, It's
Which
crazy
is
because, yeah.
yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that, like, you're super right. I even think that, let's say that you have full ability to do whatever you want. Like, your cards don't do anything together. they don't do anything. I guess they get counters sometimes. But like what is the goal? The goal is to just act on everybody's turn all the time. This is a
Yeah, it's
deck
a
that
funny
just
concept.
pisses everybody off. This just pisses everyone off all the time.
I kind of think it's cool. Because it's like what do you do on your turn? You sorcery speed out an enchantment, you pass the turn, or a creature that does nothing until your opponents play the game, you pass the turn.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. I also think that after the first time you play this in a long game, your brain is just fried, and you're like, oh my god, I don't know how I could ever do this ever again.
Yeah. Something else that is worth mentioning is that the submitter said that they usually play on tabletop sim. I'm wondering, like, how, man, I imagine the tabletop sim games can be really slow because there's a lot of like hotkeying, or maybe that makes it fast. I don't know. But like, man, if you're playing a 4-player game, you're one of these players and you're playing this deck, the game is going to take twice as long as every other game you're playing of Commander that night. Like, undoubtedly. Like, there's no chance that it doesn't.
Yeah, someone in chat said it well. It says it was like turn the 1 hour pod into a 3 hour pod.
Yeah.
No, I gotta say, there's nothing wrong with playing triggers and value, especially like I really think this is a tight concept. They clearly knew what they wanted to go for. It's just like a little bit of ramp value than everything it says when your opponent does something. And honestly, like I see a good mix of lands and stuff like that too. I would have no problem playing against this, but this would be a deck where I would be like, if I didn't know that I was playing against it, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing right now? What are we doing? What's happening here? What is going on?
Zach, you said that you studied this deck a little. I'm interested in what you have to say about it.
I didn't study it that much. It was just like I thought the description was interesting to say it holds its own from 2 to 4, which is like that's such a wide range of.
It's a crazy range
of a deck, but yeah.
Yeah, I can play this in 1 to 5.
Like, I mean, like, I think just keep the game changers in. Just play it in bracket 3s.
I agree with that. This is so at home in a bracket 3. It just needs to just keep those game changers.
Can I ask a little tiny itty bitty baby question to you guys?
You know, maybe.
Why are we thinking that the Ninja Turtles are the commanders?
Because the Ninja Turtles do everything.
I guess it gains life, gives you counters. It does it draw a card? Not really, but that's fine. I guess it just buffs up the whole board. I guess it represents a win condition in that you can give everything menace and trample and lifelink.
Yeah, and then
Mikey's
there to make foods. I think he was saying he put in food stuff for the W.
I think there is a lot of 1/1 counter and token synergy, so like it kind of works out.
Okay. Yeah, I guess there's a lot of tokens.
I think maybe your game design brain is thinking that Leonardo the Balance should have said that, like, I don't know, turtles get the counters or whatever, or that turtles get the menace, trample, and lifelink, but like he just says creatures.
Yep, I think my brain was like, why are turtles not in turtle deck?
He just says creatures. Okay, I must rhetorically ask the question why, but we can move on from there. I gotta say this.
The color, it's just like so weird.
Some of my favorite cards are in this deck. I really like Mind's Dilation. I really like Lurking Predators. Those are cards that are like not easy to make work. And so I don't know. I feel like the worst part about this deck, definitely like they identified, is like how do you win after you have accumulated infinite value? You know what I mean? Just like making guys and putting counters and swinging with menace.
Yeah, I guess. I think that's probably it.
To me, that's like the final clue in the case here that like this is a bracket 3 bad boy.
Yeah. I also, if the title of the deck is going to be whenever an opponent, yes please, where is Rhystic Study?
It's in the sideboard. It looks like the Final Fantasy one.
Then let me reiterate. Why is it not in the main board? Like, that is the iconic whenever an opponent shits or breathes, you do something.
I saw
don't know.
Chatter
I don't
point
think
out.
you need to be so shy about it.
Yeah, I think I saw a chatter point out that because it has 97 cards, or it says it's 97, because they took out the 3 game changers that were in it.
Yeah, they moved to the sideboard.
Smothering Tithe, Ristic Study, and like Monologue Tax probably or something.
Yeah. It was Fierce, but Monologue is in the sideboard as well.
Yeah. Fierce Guardianship. Okay.
I like it a lot. I just think you just need to have confidence. Look, there's a reason why everyone used to say their deck was a 7, and now the new number is a 3. It's because like so many decks are like, frankly, this is a pretty unique deck. I haven't seen many people play a Oops All Your Turn deck in a while, and like,
yeah,
just because the Plinko machine constantly puts things right in the middle of power level doesn't make it a bad thing. I think bracket 3 is great.
I wouldn't play this deck because it would microwave my brain, and I don't think that I have the attention span to do something like this. But yeah, I think that's very fair. Like, it's kind of weird how this deck almost has 0 synergy, even though every card almost has the same text. Like, kind of an accomplishment in a way.
Yeah,
I think the opposite.
I really like it.
I think to me at least, there's clear like 1/1 counter and token synergy, and they managed to find a way to put all that together while also sticking to a very clear and defined theme of whenever an opponent does X.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess I'm used to 1/1 counter decks literally saying 1/1 counter on every single card in the entire deck. So when I see this and it's like maybe half, I'm like, this isn't going to do the 1/1 counter thing, but I suppose it still will. All right, do you have a rating?
I really like the deck. I think I want to give it a 9. I also want to point one thing out, which is that their curve is above 3. They have a 3-2-5. I think that's why their like land count is higher than I would say average, and I celebrate that decision because like there is ramp in here, but it looks like it's land-based ramp, and it's kind of few and far between. So especially in 5 colors, making sure you hit a land drop every turn is very important.
Yeah. I am sad to not see any Rogue's Passage. I understand that I understand that you're in a 5-color deck, so you want to have all your colors. My brother in Christ, you have so many 5-color lands. I don't think it's going to be an issue. I think that your land fixing is perfectly good.
You're right. Cut Soul Ring and put Chromatic Lantern in.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, that's what everybody likes that decision.
Yeah. I don't know what I want to give this deck. Honestly, because of the brain microwaving, I think I might give it like a 7. I would. I'm going to say something that's true and it's going to hurt me. To know if I like this deck or not, I would have to play it. And this deck doesn't get me excited to play, which maybe is mean, but like, I'm happy that you like this deck. I'm really happy that you like it.
Members decks too.
Yeah, I might have to play this in members decks too.
Maybe we do for members decks too, decks we really don't like or don't want to play.
I will say something that I have not said about this deck is that I love when a deck does something that I've never seen before, and I think like has fun with it as an idea. And this deck does that, and I have mad respect that even though this probably cooks your brain, like this shit is super sick. I'll give it an 8. I'll give it an 8.
Wow. That's respectable.
Yeah. It's so
it's
unique. I love how unique the deck is.
Yeah, I think they did a good job.
My cat just meowed with vibrato.
All right.
I think they agree with the rating.
I think she's just mad that I'm not exclusively paying attention to her.
I think
in the wheel.
Rip it up. I'll get my final sentiment. To me, the difference between a 9 and a 10 here is like, be okay with your bracket 3 identity. Put those game changers in. You're allowed to feel like strong. You don't need to say this is a 2. Be okay with it.
Yeah. I think it's like your spirit says it's a 2 because you're not doing anything that is a direct synergy. But the fact of the matter is that things that do things on other people's turns are generally stronger than things that don't. So the deck is going to end up being a little higher power.
Oh,
on
wow.
average.
Speaking of stronger, I just saw what the next deck
Yeah,
is.
Nasty
What
Boys
is it?
TV.
Oh, very good. Oh,
Power level 4. I'm ready.
Yep. It's
Check.
Jodah.
It's Jodah.
It's SpongeBob. It's SpongeBob.
Yep. It's SpongeBob. Yippee.
It's a Jodah deck.
All right.
All right. I'm looking for one card. Can you guess what one card I'm looking for? Where's my card?
Good question.
Oh, I'm not seeing it right now. Oh no. Oh wait, maybe? Kind of. There's a half version of my card. Guys, I have played a Jodah deck. It's one of the first. I might be looking for Rogue's Passage, who knows? There's one super insane card in Jodah. It's a legendary creature, and I feel like it's almost a must include, even though it makes the game extremely toxic. Can you think of the creature that I'm thinking of, chat, and or Ryan or Zach? You have some kind of copies in it.
I don't really know. I haven't played a Jodah deck that much. I feel like, oh yeah, no, I know what it is. Is it the double guy? You played it in a game against us. It was like the zombie guy.
Ratadrabic?
Oh, Ratadrabic? He is
right.
definitely broken, and it should be in this deck if it's not. But I'm thinking of Sakashima.
Yeah.
Which one? I see the Imposter.
Yeah, the Imposter is here, but Imposter? I'm thinking of 1,000 Faces, of course. Because that shit is crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've piloted a Jodah deck before. What's like the bread and butter? What's like because like that shout out to Sakashima is a good one, and it's obvious, right? What's better than one Jodah? It's 2 fucking Jodas, and you know, and then it's 2 like whatever else you want to make in in a pinch or whatever. But what's like the stuff that really makes this deck hum when you play it?
Okay, so my game plan whenever I'm playing Jodah is try to rocket my mana to 5 color, and then look at my hand and see if I have any legendaries that are of cost like 5 or 6. And remember in my deck if I have things that are lower than that, which you basically always should. And then you must have at least 1 piece of protection for Jodah, because he is an Eldrazi. If he comes down and you don't have protection for him, he should be nuked. And if you're sitting at a table where they don't nuke him the second he comes down, then you're playing at too low of a bracket. You need to go find a different table, because they should know, or they should be ready, or you should have the common courtesy of saying, hey, by the way, guys, if Jodah sticks around for more than like 1 turn, I'm probably going to swing for like 80 damage. Because if you aren't doing that with Jodah, then my opinion is that you are playing him wrong. Now, the thing that I think is really good about this deck, I don't see almost any non-legendary cards that aren't like protection or ramp. Like ramp obviously is not always going to be legendary, and then protection is harder to find in legendary. But like that is accomplished, I feel like that is done really well.
Man, they have such powerful interaction too.
Yeah, they really packed it.
It's like the top end of every color that I would pick, except for I guess you could call it this. Have you seen Urza's Ruinous Blast?
Yes.
I really like this card because it uses a mechanic called legendary, X, Y, or Z, or sorcery in this case, and you can only cast it if you have a legendary creature, and it exiles all non-land permanents that aren't legendary. I've been trying to put this in a deck for so long, and it's always like, it's not that good because like you have to have your commander, and then in this deck, it's a fucking war crime.
Yeah. Oh, completely wild and tiny sidebar. Do you happen to have a Coke Zero with you?
You mean like right here?
Did you open it already?
No, what do you mean?
Let's pop this tab, buddy.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, damn! Yours was really good.
Let's go. I turned off all of my noise removal. I'm going through so many different filters.
That's great.
Anyway,
Let me
I
let me.
really
Go
like
ahead.
the deck is looking, to be honest. I really am liking it.
I think it's cool. Let me go through a couple of things because I'm kind of Spider-Man blind and I didn't realize this at first. Have you seen Chameleon Master of Disguise? The chat pointed
Yeah.
this out.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that is functionally Sakashima, although it doesn't apply wide like the legend rule or whatever, because his name is different, which is kind of cool. So I think that's a nice budget take since he will be like a copy of the creature, but he'll still be Chameleon, which is cool. And then like a really underrated protection piece that I like is Sereth the Viper's Fang. It just gives all your untapped guys hexproof. You're like not really swinging with Jodah anyway, because Jodah's too risky to like get hit by some like flash or white combat trick or whatever.
Yeah. Something that I get to do because I'm at my house is do a little bit of a play test hand.
Okay. Respect.
Oh, I got Demonic Tutor. Well, there's an Ancient Tomb in this deck. Honestly, Ancient Tomb, I feel like would go underplayed in this deck because your color requirements are so high. But maybe not.
You know what?
Oh,
I
man,
feel like
and then a Sousa.
the best use of an Ancient Tomb would be is casting a Talisman.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which,
Pretty much. Or like once you're at the higher, like really, really high cost creatures, but I don't see a lot of super high cost creatures in the deck.
Dude, where's the Relic of Legends?
Yeah, Relic of Legends is broken in this deck. Oh my gosh.
Good shot, check. Good shot.
Yeah. Something that I think is really important is that when you play Jodah, having card draw on your legendary creatures is really important. Like Reki, the History of Kamigawa is already in the deck, but having stuff like that, we also have Joyra. I just opened a playtest hand and I didn't see any creatures after 3 hands that drew me cards. Having card draw on your legendaries that are getting summoned out of the deck is super important. And that I would look for a little bit more of that in the deck.
I think that's fair. I think you need to be careful about your colors in 5-color. Your shout about Ancient Tomb was very good. The interaction is obviously here. It's I'd say well-rounded, right? There's removal, there's protection, there's some stack as well. It's not a huge pile of like any one of those things, but I think that like you can, depending on the strategy it's shaping up, keep the ones that you need for the right moment. I think it's cool. And so I think that your critique is probably really good. The only, I'd say, quote unquote weakness of this deck is that you probably run out of gas after one board wipe.
Yeah. And I like that Dawn's Truce is in here, but I feel like you need to do one of two things. Either have a way to protect the board over and over again, or refill your hand over and over again. Because people are burning the board wipes just for you. People are burning their targeted removal, usually just for you, if you're playing Jodah. So, like, Jodah has to run this really in D&D, you would call this mad because you're multiple ability dependent. In this deck, you need so many different things and the good versions of so many of them that it's kind of hard to do any one thing amazing, at least in my opinion. I love to fill the deck with creatures and draw and then some protection, and I kind of leave it at that. And obviously, like, you need to have some ramp, but usually I kind of leave that as secondary because there are so many like multicolor fixing stuff that you usually don't need to bring a lot. This deck has 34 lands and 20 pieces of ramp. This is over 50% of the deck is just for mana, which isn't bad, but I feel like you will never have mana problems and you will have draw problems pretty regularly while playing this.
You know what's interesting is if you look at the interaction that's there, I would put Dawn's Truce on a level of premium above Swords and Path in this deck. I'm curious what your perspective is on that.
Yeah, I think that when you're playing Jodah, you don't really need to worry about removing other people's stuff because you just kill them.
Yeah, I mean, look, removal is good. I'm not saying it's bad, but to me, I feel like even if you drop those two to just play like even more protection, like I was just whining about Flawless Maneuver, there's a reason the card exists.
Yeah,
it's a good fucking card. So I'm not saying to swap that out, but like it's kind of cool looking at decks and like understanding your win condition. And like you said, you just kill them. Yeah, they just get run over.
Trying to think of anything else that kind of bugs me. I really like Untimely Malfunction and Deadly Rollick in the deck. Counterspell also really good. I even think that Cyclonic Rift fits this deck in a lot of places where it usually wouldn't, because after you Rift in this deck, you win the game. Like, there is no way that you don't. And a lot of decks like to Rift and then do nothing because they're in blue and that's kind of all that they can give. But this deck wins so easily that just like ensuring the win and giving yourself that insurance, I think, is kind of the goal.
Let me ask you a question. If you click on the commander bracket optimization at the top, it tells you why it says it's bracket 4. Okay, it says you have 6 game changers in the deck, and there's a 2-card infinite of Selvala and Najila. Do you think this is a bracket 4 deck?
If I'm being real, Jodah has a hard time swinging under bracket 4, in my opinion. Just because you're getting so much value for free. And I think that the game changers do make a difference. Like, you have so many of them that I feel like it does matter, especially when it comes to tutoring, because you're kind of giving yourself that insurance with tutoring. Do I think that this deck could lose at a bracket 3 table? Yes. Do I think that it would take a lot from all the other players? Yeah. So I think that bracket 4 makes sense.
I agree, and I think it's maybe on the middle or lower end of bracket 4 because I've seen some nasty ones. But like putting this one up against the one we just looked at, I think the one that we just looked at does actually like nothing against this deck. This guy just plays a bunch of creatures and you lose.
You're exactly right.
Which I think is like a really nice, I guess, sort of comparison, so that you can see where the shadows are between them. And like if you've never played against a Jodah deck, it's an egregious war machine. You would think that they would like stop having guys hit the board, but
nope.
They don't. It just keeps going.
Yep. It just keeps going.
It just keeps going and going and going. And then they're all like plus 40, and then you're like, oh, okay, cool.
My professional opinion at this point is that you include it into the deck maybe just because they are a part of your collection, or maybe because you think that it's good. One of each of the talismans, which is 6 cards that affect your mana, but only 2 of the colors. I personally, in my Jodah deck, removed all of the talismans and just kept my color fixing when it comes to like ramp and searching for lands. And I did just as well. And I would invest probably 3 of those cards into more cards that draw cards, and 3 of them into things that protect your stuff, like Flawless Maneuver, Heroic, or you already have Heroic Intervention. You have Dawn's Truce and Heroic Intervention. Maybe like 1 more of those, and then I don't know. I feel like there's some wiggle room here that I'm having trouble putting my finger on. Probably just big motherfuckers. Like Maelstrom Wanderer, I feel like is epic in this deck.
That's true. I will say they did a good job on their color distribution. Like as far as getting all 5 colors. 5-color decks are tough, and you need all 5 to play SpongeBob, obviously. Their deck is primarily based in white and green, but they have a literal dead even split between all 5 colors. So like they should be able to resolve their commander. Maybe there'll be some pain points, but no, I think as it stands, they'll hit the mark on the colors. But I agree, this deck probably just needs card drop.
Yeah. Now here's a little controversy maybe. I think that in this deck it would be easy to say you don't need Rogue's Passage, but if you're playing against other bracket 4s. The way that this deck wins is by swinging in with a bunch of big creatures. Do you know how many ways there are to stop you from swinging in with a bunch of big creatures? There's loads. There's, Propaganda, Ghostly Prison. There's, so many ways to just like untap things or whatever, that I think that adding Rogue's Passage helps solve that problem, because at some point your Jodah is going to be an 11/11 at the very least. And you can just solo win the game with just him. Put Sakashima in the deck. It's so broken. It's so broken.
Really good. It is really good. I feel like Rogue's Passage is just such an important like pressure valve of the format. It's like so hard for me not to put it in, which like is sad because like it's back to my Soul Ring argument and Gavin's Arcane Segment argument, which is like the cards are so fucking good that you have to put them in every deck. But like
Yeah.
If you've never been in the hostage situation where like no one can get any damage in because some mono white prison guy is like giving everybody one token every turn and making it so that only one attack can go through every turn, like that's the fucking JJK prison realm that like someone has to work together to get out of, that like one land slot can fix, and it's just important a lot of times. I feel personally attacked, someone said.
And I know that Sun Quan gives everything horsemanship, and that makes them all unblockable. Like, why not have the insurance of having multiple Sun Quans in the deck? You know?
Oh man, that's funny.
And a Soul Ring. Honestly, you can take Soul Ring out of the deck. Like, it kind of ends up getting not fully used anyway. Ryan, I just looked over at our webcams. Are you drinking piss?
Well, of course, it's Leaves piss. It's green tea.
Oh, green tea. I was like, what the fuck?
Well, listen, why do you think I'm so good at Magic? It's Tylenol and piss. That's what it is.
True. So true. Oh my gosh. Have you ever seen the clip of Wubby definitely not pissing into a cup on stream, and then definitely not accidentally sipping from a cup that definitely doesn't accidentally have piss in it? Oh my god, that clip is so horrendous.
I've not seen that, but oh my god, am I gonna see that after the stream?
Yeah, right. Oh,
that's incredible. That's incredible.
Okay, I would give this deck an 8 because I think that there are very clear positive directions that you can take it, and just from looking at this and looking at the deck that I played, I'm imagining that something that happens to you once every 5 games is your entire hand ends up being mana, and you just cast Jodah 4 times and it gets removed 4 times, and then you don't have anything else in your hand. So I would try to trend away from that, even just a little bit. And that's my thoughts.
I think this is a strong Jodah deck. They did a good job of making it through the Jodah thing. Definitely there are upgrade points, but to me it's a 9. Like I'm gonna sit down against this. It's gonna Jodah all over me. I'm gonna go fuck Jodah, and then I'm gonna lose.
Yeah. Oh, there's a legendary sorcery that reanimates like all legendaries in your graveyard, and it's in Orzhov. That shit is broken. You should put that in here because sometimes it just solo wins you the game. I actually like that more than, well, no, Urza's Blast is completely broken. But it's like both of them together are super good. Yeah, both of them are war crimes and they're both super good. I also want to say before we keep going, if you are tuned in right now and you want to submit a deck, you just link your Discord to your Twitch or your YouTube and make sure that you're either subbed or a member, and you can submit your deck to a link in the Discord members channel. And at the end of the stream at 4 o'clock, we have a new video coming out. We have our next box brawl, and it is with a very, very special guest that you guys have already seen on the channel. So keep an eye out.
You can leak the guest. You can leak the guest. True.
We're playing with Maulhound. We're it's one of the videos that we recorded with him, and it's very exciting. I rewatched it to make sure that everything was good, and I forgot how funny that game was. Even being there, it was just so funny.
The dude is just funny.
Yeah. It's hard to beat the comedy levels of Maldorius Handonathan. Okay, I think that this deck is great, and we can spin a dang wheel.
Let's do it.
Yeah, in this deck, there's always ways that you can do math on Cascade so that you know, like, that you're always going to hit, you're not going to whiff. But you kind of don't have to do that math with Jodah because there's so many different legendaries that you're almost always going to hit. Oh, but it's almost always a good idea to put Rogak and Yoshimaru in this deck in case you get a super low curve legendary out, just so that you hit something. And Rogak is broken in this deck. Super, super busted. Sorry. Anyway. Tillage. Ah, here you are. Bracket 2, power level 3 or 4, I guess. That's not how that works, bro.
He quoted 50. Did you see?
No.
Like 50 said, hate it or love it. Gain life, resurrect stuff, hit people. If not good enough, just skip me and get me a more interesting deck. Get a more interesting deck a chance.
Interesting. I remember when 50 said that.
This is my first time seeing anyone build a Zoraline deck, but this card is really cool.
Yeah. Wow, this is so funny. The first line of text on Zoraline says, Flying Vigilance, whenever a bat you control attacks, you gain 1 life. I don't know if there's any bats in the deck. It looks like very few. It's all just baby life gain that goes ding, ding, ding. And it says, whenever it enters or attacks, you may pay Orzhov into life. When you do, return target non-land permanent card with mana value 3 or less from the graveyard. Yes! I love reanimation of tiny things.
That's actually pretty cool. Yeah, that's like his pet deck. I don't see a Maskwood Nexus, so I think it's just on the commander for the life gain.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, sorry, Zach. Go ahead, please.
Yeah.
Let's see. Essence Channeler. Oh yeah. Okay, never mind. I take it back. I've invested today.
Oh yeah, Essence Channeler. I fought that thing in Standard so many times. I want to explode.
Okay, so you've played a bunch of this like archetype on Arena. What are the cards that like made this the banger that it was?
The banger of Zoraline in Arena. I haven't played Zoraline. I was saying Essence Channeler.
No, you played Orzhov like little guy, you played like a Raise the Past.
Oh
deck,
yeah.
I think. So what were the cards that you would play that were like that made all the difference?
Oh man, Gorehound, the 1 mana Black Menace creature from Karloff Manor that lets you surveil whenever a little thing comes in with like I think it's power or toughness 1, I forget. That thing is super broken. Servandum is in the deck, super broken, very, very strong. Sephiroth, if you don't have Sephiroth in this deck, you're a crazy person. You need to put Sephiroth in this deck. I don't see it. It's super good. Really, really good.
Yeah, that is true.
I guess it's finality counters, but still.
Well, still, even with finality counters, you do get them back.
That's true. Like, Sephiroth is crazy in this deck.
It sucks that you don't get them back multiple times. You do get them back.
It looks like this is mostly a like life gain, and then sometimes you get the Zoraline trigger. I'm wondering if you would almost like to copy her trigger, you know? Like find a way to resurrect more than one thing at a time. But I don't know how many times you're actually resurrecting stuff.
You know what's interesting is like there's 21 enchantments in this deck, which is like a really high number. Do you see the like what is it, Mesa Enchantress?
Oh.
Is it the white one? 21 is a lot of enchantments.
Yeah, no Mesa Enchantress. That's interesting.
And then like if you're playing, okay, there's Heliod at least. Okay, good. Heliod. Wait. Yeah. Okay, Heliod makes a lot of sense for that kind of deck. That's interesting. Like there's like a whole enchantments like pile. Like I feel like you could lean because a lot of those guys that care about enchantments are like 3 or less mana cost.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Desecrated Tomb. That's the bat. There it is. I like Desecrated Tomb. It's an artifact. It says whenever 1 or more creatures leave your graveyard, make a 1/1 bat with flying.
Oh yeah. Very good.
Aha! Power conduit. Aha! Okay, there's some cooking here.
Oh, is it removing?
Yeah, power conduit.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess there's definitely cooking, but I feel like if you're only getting 1 Zoraline trigger each turn, that's kind of sad. Like, I would put like Blink into this. You're in colors for Blink. I think that's really good. And you wouldn't even have to put a lot. Although I think that you are still getting value out of Zoraline. I just feel like getting a little bit more. Ooh, Athreos, God of Passage is really cool. Very, very good include. Just for some, safety. Oh, Life Creed Duo is in the deck as well for bats.
What's that one enchantment where you don't put counters on your stuff?
Yeah, I was gonna say that next. Solemnity.
Yeah, Solemnity.
Some people in chat said they couldn't hear you, by the way, Zach. I don't know if that's true or not, or if they're okay.
Yeah.
This is intentional.
I don't know. Okay, they hear you now. I don't know if that game has come out yet. I don't think it has, and it may never will. But we played a game where I put Solemnity in the deck to proactively stop myself from putting finality counters on my own stuff. And it just like kind of shit on all of my opponents who were playing 1/1 counter decks. And I was like, consistent, no one can do it. And I was like, I didn't mean to do this because like I'm sorry. So if you put it in the deck to like help your own proactive plan, it will do that, right? It will do that. Also, it may make you like Sauron, and people will come to your door to kick your ass.
Yeah. Yep. I'm
Which is very
wondering.
funny.
I'm wondering what this deck does to win the game.
Like a finisher of some kind.
Yeah, like I don't know if this deck is budget restricted in any way, but in my mind, I'm looking for like True Conviction, Moonshaker Cavalry, Aetherflux Reservoir if you're really into the life gain, which I think that you are.
Just looking at this deck, I would have guessed like a Veto too, because it's like a 3-drop, but I don't see that either.
Yeah. I think the only thing you're probably missing are just like, one-stop shop game enders in Orzhov Life Gain. Do you have the Suva and no, you aren't doing the combo. Whoa. 31 lands? Oh wait, no, you know what? Actually,
have you seen their curve?
Deck?
Have you seen it? It's kind of it's one of the smallest curves I've seen in a long time. It's a 2.
Okay, look, I think it's a perfectly good curve. Some people would say that it's even too big if you are talking to the right people. So I don't want to hear crazy, bad talk about this curve, or maybe not bad talk, but just like the curve's fine. The size, I would say I like the size of the curve. I would say the curve size is perfectly sized.
It makes sense. I think that the way that go ahead.
I was just going to say that the 31 lands make sense because I looked at it and I was like, 31! And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. It's all tiny stuff. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm with you on the finisher question, though. So they have a like fix what's broken, a new card that says return each creature and artifact with mana value X or less, and you just pay like the X life to bring everything back. So you get a bunch of guys, just like a couple of effects that like kind of go wide on them. I hate to say Cathar's Crusade, but Cathar's Crusade is a perfect example of something like that, which is like you're playing guys get guys. But I feel like there are plenty of other white finishers and black finishers that you just mentioned. If you really want to lean into the life thing, do like Sanguine Bond, Explicit Blood. Like you can do that stuff. I know you don't want to go out of bracket 2. I think this is supposed to be a lower power deck. So don't put both in at the same time because that's an infinite combo that will bump you up for sure. But there are definitely like ways that you can kind of like buff up your guys if your plan is to just attack.
Yeah.
Oh,
I genuinely.
Go ahead. I have to find a card. No, I have to find.
Okay,
I don't know the name of the card. I don't know the name of the card. Hold on.
I genuinely think that you could go down on the amount of enchantments that you have in some way, shape, or form. Because like Animate Dead, right? This is a card that's going to reanimate something, but your deck already is pretty well equipped to reanimate little things for low cost. That paying 2 for a 2-drop out of the yard is like kind of tough. Usually you want to play Animate Dead to pay 2 for like an 8-drop or a 6-drop out of your yard. So I feel like stuff like this that just reanimates a single target feels cool in construction, and then when you play, it's your like value proposition is so. It's maybe not negative, but it's so even that like it's maybe not good enough to run.
Here's an old ass card that's a Ryan card that I played in decks kind of like this. It's a 4-drop Anthem, so it's for 4 mana. Your creatures get 1/1, but it has multi-kicker, and when you kick it, you can bring creatures back from the graveyard to the battlefield. So you have not that many lands in this deck. I think you can get to 4 reliably, and maybe in some games 6. But I definitely see an end game turn where you'll have 8 mana. You want to reanimate 2 guys and pump all your dudes +1/+1, and that might make the difference.
Yeah. And just going to say it because I played a whole entire deck that just revolved around it. Not playing Raise the Past in this deck is a crime.
I was wondering when you were going to say that.
I can take legal action against you because of that. So I would recommend that you put Raise the Past into the deck. I honestly think that you could go down like 5 enchantments and just put 5 more creatures. I feel like you should just be slamming creatures.
It's so interesting because like they have the critical mass of enchantments where they could actually add enchantment support and it would feel really good.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you know what else goes absolutely bananas in this deck, probably? Delny.
What? Oh, I think it's in the deck.
Is it?
But yeah,
Okay.
I saw it.
Okay, it is. Okay.
You are right. You are right.
I was like, where is our absolute mastermind Delny?
Okay. I really like the deck. You know what I think I really like about it is like I've seen Orzhov life gain decks before. I've even seen like Orzhov weenies. A lot of these cards are like clearly like dealer's choice, right? Like
Yeah.
you can't argue with the Malakir Rebirth, and like you can't argue with like the Aerith in these colors. Same with the Luris. So like there are definitely some bread and butter cards in here, but this deck feels kind of I guess fresh in this style.
Yeah. I want to give a piece of my mind to you, owner of this deck, Dirtillage, for free. As one is wont to do. This deck is really cool. I love that you have a strong idea, and I want to share with you a bit of tech that I use when constructing decks. Sometimes your commander gets removed a bunch or becomes uncastable for some reason, and you need a sort of backup plan, especially in decks that run on a low curve like this, where you might not be getting to 8 mana in a game, and then it kind of makes it a little stuttery to work on it. I, right now, am in the EDH rec page for Orzhov Reanimator, and I'm looking for other commanders that could go into your command zone. And why would we not put those in the 99? Why would we not try to include some of them just to, I guess, cushion your strategy between some other like things that you can get a little bit of value out of? I'm talking about things like Amalia Benavides, who explores, does some buffing. What about Teysa Karlov? She's a little high cost for the deck, but she doubles death triggers, which I feel like is happening a little bit in your deck. Athreos is really good. The other one, Alice Ilkor, super cool. There are a bunch of other cards that like would represent this deck well in the command zone that you can just put into the 99 and kind of like you're already doing it with Servandum. Like why not try and like beef up that part of the strategy?
I have a question for you. So, a couple of those that you mentioned, the other Athreos, for example, are above 6 mana, or above 3 mana. The Athreos is 6.
That's why you wouldn't add them.
well, no, hold on though, because like a deck like this, right? They've clearly, if you look at the creatures, it's all 3 or less. Every single one is a hit for the commander. Do you think that that's like it detracts from the strength of the deck? Like, should they play some stuff that can't be hit by the commander that like maybe can make a big impact, even if their curve is so low?
Let me counter your question with a question. Does Moonshaker Cavalry do this deck good or bad?
You know what? I'd say it's a coin toss because they have 31 lands. Like, there's a world where you just never get there.
True. That's totally fair.
You know what? You know what? There is a world where you never get there, but then you put a Phyrexian Altar in, and then you can figure it out.
yeah. Like, I guess it necessitates powering the deck up a little bit. But something that you can do is move away from the like exclusively running low cost things so that you can get a more consistent finisher. Something else that I'm doing right now is I'm just looking at legendary creatures in Orzhov that cost less than 4 mana, and like so many of these can just run in the deck. Like Ardbert, Warrior of Darkness, can go into this deck and just be a win condition when he hits the board. I feel like, or not when he hits the board, but let's say a turn or two after he hits the board.
I gotcha. It's food for thought. For me, I think Moonshaker Cavalry speaks for itself, right? And I think that like a Phyrexian Altar goes at home in something like this. But you got to be careful to like make sure that they're one, what you want to do, and two, like that they will work in your deck. So a good example is like this deck is 31 creatures, 21 enchantments.
Yeah.
Like if you want to go the lifelinky thing, add like the vetoes of the world or whatever, or any of the other things. You can put the generic finishers in if you want, but I think this deck is like right on the edge of like having 2 really strong identities. And there's nothing wrong with like being like a multi-class like in D&D, right? But I
Yeah.
think it wants a little push in either direction. If this is like a creatures go wide deck, add some creatures go wide. If this is like a lifelink deck, add some like life, add some damage for like life gain or life loss. If this is like an enchantments deck, add a little bit of like the engine or whatever there. Because I think it's just slightly a little spread, and it's bracket 2 to be clear. Like this would be a good bracket 2 deck, but I think that there are definitely games where this will go slow, and I think it'll be on the back of drawing like exactly 1/3 of each archetype, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, you are 1,000,000,000% correct. I very, very much agree. My like final thoughts are that in decks like this, like I have a Delny deck that actually like is pretty similar to this. It's not just life gainy, but it's just like little guys that generate value, and then at some point I want to try and win. In decks that have such a low curve, I usually like adding 4 like super high curve things that maybe I won't ever get to, but if I do, they will just win me the game. Like True Conviction is a 6-mana enchantment, gives everything lifelink and double strike. It even goes to your like win condition, or I guess deck goal of life gain. And I think that running a couple of those are good, because in the games that you do get to the point where you can cast them, like you just kind of say, I cast this, can we all agree that the game is probably going to end because I have so much value out of this? Okay, and then we can, just for the interest of moving to the next game and calling it done.
Fair enough. I don't disagree. I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I really like the deck. I think it needs. No, that's unfair. I just don't want to say 9 3 times in a row, but like it's not. It's more than an 8.5. It's. I like a deck where it knows its mana curve. It's got like a fresh style. I'll give it a 9.5, and I'll say you need to take it. You need to take it back to the lab and just give it once over and be like, what am I really doing here? And then give it a little push. That's it. A 9.5 for me.
I'm on the exact same mindset as you. I'm giving it a 9 because you could go through this deck once, remove some stuff that you kind of really don't need, and add like 3 or 4 cards of win condition, and then 3 or 4 cards of just like grease for the gears. And this deck is like gonna run super smooth. It's gonna be very fun. Like this deck is already there, but you could add like 3 cards of win conditions, and it would just feel like worlds better, I think. Awesome. I really like this deck. It's so in the category of decks that I love to play that I just like to see it. It just makes me happy to view it.
Agreed. That's cool.
Spinning a freaking wheel, bro. And I'm finding it. No idea on power level. I guess 3, maybe 4. I got 2 game changers. I mean,
wait a minute.
It's a Jodah deck.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I've seen these texts before. Wow. Okay, hold on. It's not just a Jodah deck.
Seeing this.
Have you figured out?
Yeah.
Let me go back to the text.
Yeah.
Let me go back to the text.
Yeah. Okay. This is cool. No. Here's the thing. You are mistaken. This is not just another Jodah deck. This is actually a deck that we cannot review. in a certain sense.
Man, this is interesting. Did you read the comments?
No, tell me.
Really love Final Fantasy, and when I saw that Jodah was going to get a reskin as Warrior of Life, I decided to make a Final Fantasy themed Jodah deck. All the cards in the deck I got by pulling them myself. Any suggestions made for changes and improvements as long as they're in universe?
I'm going to tell you this right now. No notes.
Yeah. I guess. Nope. Yeah.
What can we say?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I don't see the other copy of Tifa in it for one, but that's fair.
Okay. Something that this person said, hey guys, I really wanted to make a Jodah deck of all of the Final Fantasy legendaries. Here's the deck. And he said, if you're going to offer any advice, make sure that it's in universe. Brother, you already have all of the cards that can go in the deck, pretty much. No notes. What am I supposed to do?
I'll push us to stretch a little bit. Have you seen the lands?
Uh-oh.
No, it's not an uh-oh thing. It's not an uh-oh thing. It's just, take a look at there. What's your what's your
I
kind
see
of
some
shoot from the hip?
Verges. I see Inkmoth Nexus. There's no Rogue's Passage.
Yeah.
Nope, there is. It's here. It's here.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, it's a lot.
Inkmoth. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's a lot of Tarkir and Aether Drift and Final Fantasy lands, which I get.
It's like, I know that this is a 5-color deck. There's 2 utility lands, and they're playing 37 lands. I feel like this deck is probably wanting for a little more tech. You know what? That's maybe where my brain is tickling. In an in-universe like pet project deck that's like, I want to play all the Final Fantasy cards. Often you'll find that, like, man, I really wish I had like one piece of interaction, right? And like, where do you put a Malakir Rebirth in a deck like this? Like, would you consider that out of universe because it's a spell? Probably, but also like, maybe like 8 times out of 10, you might just play it as a land.
Yeah. I also want to say, well, one, you're 100% right. I personally would recommend running stuff like that, even though it's out of universe. I would say that it's not a creature. Like, in my mind, the fantasy, of the deck is that you're seeing all the Final Fantasy characters because they have Embercleave in the deck and Helm of Hosts.
That's true.
And
That's true.
Like, so I think it's more about the creatures are all Final Fantasy. Everything else kind of like fits in other places to make it work.
They do have a Lord of the Rings land in the thing, so like it's already out the window.
It's just the Inn of the Prancing Pony. It's the Inn of the Prancing Pony. Everybody likes ponies.
I'm gonna call out a couple of cards that to me feel like maybe they could be taken out. I see Soul Ring, as well as Thran Dynamo, as well as Fire Crystal and Wind Crystal. All of those cards I feel like are detracting from your gameplay experience more than they are gaining. And in fact, I would say that, well, I guess the Fire Crystal gives everything haste, which is really good. But like Rising of the Day just kind of does that and way better. Or is it called Rising of the Day? I think it is.
I think you're thinking of the hasty thing that gives legendary creatures 1/0.
Yeah.
The
crystals are also legendary.
I understand that the crystals are legendary and that they would get triggers off of Jodah. That's not the worst thing, but if you're paying 4 mana just for a Jodah trigger, which I feel like the Wind Crystal kind of is, like, I feel like just run something else. I feel like something else would be better.
Yeah, I think to me the best feedback I can give on this deck is either more bit, way more bit, or a little less bit. Like, choose. Because what you've talked about for the crystals, we got our ass kicked by CGB when he used the Wind Crystal finisher. It turns out that flying and lifelink for all creatures is fucking disgustingly busted. But I also I'm also sure there are way better things to put in that slot if you're just trying to get like mana out of your deck or whatever. So the question boils down to, how do you feel about the Inn of the Prancing Pony? Are you playing Lord of the Rings cards? Are you okay with that? How do you feel about Embercleave? Are you okay with that? And if that's the case, maybe wiggle out some of those cards like Drew's saying that are like, yeah, there's a reason to play them, but they're not the best. And then like kind of go with like more powerful like staples. That way you can highlight like the Aerith Gainsboroughs, the Tifas, and stuff like that. And like be like, this is for my creatures. Or Embercleave out, Into the Prancing Pony out, and make sure that like you might end up be playing like all the crystals or whatever, and then it's like clearly a Final Fantasy piece. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then there are like little fun things of like, I have assembled all of the crystals, and it's like, you didn't win the game, but you won. Like, there is a victory there that I think everyone can recognize, at least everyone who has good humor. Ryan, you are like speaking out of my soul right now, either more bit or less bit, and you should kind of decide, because right now we're in between, which I think is not bad, but like this deck is unforgettable. This deck is unforgettable if every single card is from Final Fantasy. It's unforgettable if you do that, right? And the deck is super slick, and the gameplay experience is really, really solid. If it's less bit, like all the creatures can still be Final Fantasy, but like every other type, like land, artifact, enchantment, if those all can be switched out from Final Fantasy, then this deck can be more standard, but also like just more powerful. So I would say the same thing that Ryan said, which is kind of decide what you prefer out of the deck, if you want it to be stronger or if you want it to be more, I guess, storyable. And I know where I'm going in this case. You guys have seen me build decks that are like basically a bit but on crack. I'm taking everything out of this deck that isn't in the Final Fantasy release of cards, and I'm just playing that almost exclusively.
I think I did that with Aerith actually.
Yeah,
but
you did.
That being said, it makes the deck unforgettable. What's the most unforgettable bit deck I know of? It's Zach's Felix 5 Boots deck.
yes, 100%.
Zach's Felix 5 Boots deck.
Yeah.
Zach, do you want to inform them of what the Felix 5 Boots deck is?
Well, yeah.
Oh, I feel like they know.
Yeah, I mean, you just find all 5 boots and you put them on them. That deck runs like all the tutors, all the like free counter spells and shit, just so I can put the boots on them.
Yep.
Yep.
There are now 5 boots.
Yep. Just the boots.
I think something else, just from a flavor perspective, your commander is Jodah Unifier, but it is the Warrior of Light, which is sort of the like, retexture of a card that already exists in Final Fantasy. Put all those motherfuckers in here. Put Yuriko in the 99. Put the Ragavan reprint as Zidane Zidane, the monkey guy, into the deck. Like, why not run all of those really, really cool art cards? Other than the fact that I think probably put all together, they cost over $600. But let's not think about that right now. If you open all of these cards that are in the deck, you probably have the working capital to make that happen. But also, if you want to have opened every single card in the deck, then it's tough. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true about the pulling. That's true about the pulling for sure. And that definitely is a limiting factor. It's a worthy goal. Like, if you can say I pulled all these, they went in the deck, and here they are. Like, that gets a damn out of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that this deck is literally teetering off of the edge of every person that I play this deck against will never forget this moment because of how like legendary it is.
Yep, agreed. And you know what? Like, there's some pain points to like doing like a full commit to this bit. I linked my like Aerith Gainsborough UB only deck. I have 27 basic lands because like they just didn't print that many cards that didn't do the thing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that might be pretty rough for Jodah, is just being like, fuck it, 30 basic lands. I think that remember not to get in the way of your own fun as you chase the goal. Do the one that you like the most. Because like playing Jodah with basics is maybe a little rough.
Yeah. I mean, so when we opened this, I said this is a deck that we can't rate. I guess I was over-exaggerating. Drew, over-exaggerating? Whoa, who could have seen that coming? This is a deck that is mostly for fun. I don't think that we're going to tell you what is and isn't fun. But, I mean, asking us to rate the deck, if I'm rating it on power, this deck is obviously on the lower end of Jodah decks, but it's still a Jodah deck, so it's like a, 8 or 9. But this deck is epic. I'm like, if someone played this against me, I would never forget it. I'm giving it a 10. I'm giving it a 10. This deck is awesome.
I agree. It's everything that Magic stands for. It's getting the cards, it's playing the cards you like, and it's doing the thing. I mean, it's a 10. I do think that you have room to grow, but it is a 10. I mean, there's no other rating.
Yeah. $650 for the entire bonus sheet? Bro, how did I get so close?
The L moment. Not like as in lose, as in like Death Note L, like Gigabrain, like dial in, download. Yeah. I just after I said L moment, I was like, no.
Yep, L moment. All right, great deck. Let's see the next one off the wheel. Oh, something very hidden information about this deck is that because all these cards are from the same set, I'm sure that there are like some really funny emergent synergies, just like on accident, which I think is cool.
True. 4 decks. Okay. Wow.
Oh boy. Oh wow. All right.
Oh wait. Is this deck Experience Tribal?
Oh,
It's Kratos. Okay.
Ooh, this one says cat girls.
Wait, it says I fell victim to cat girls help.
Hold on. I'm just gonna look at the deck. I'm gonna look at the images of the deck.
Yeah, go ahead. I fell victim to cat
Okay,
girls.
it's just the commander is Catgirl. I mean, it also includes some of the Final Fantasy Catgirls that are in the game, in the MMO, I think, but it's not like, oh, it's only Catgirls. Nya. It's
Doughboy's on
something else.
YouTube as well. They're in chat.
Yay!
Doughboy, there's 4 of these. Do you have a favorite? I think that there's some pretty cool stuff I see in Animar as well.
We can only rate one of them.
Yeah, we can only rate once. I'm trying to see here.
Oh, I've
Ragos?
seen a Kratos deck like this, which is just like, legendaries get you experience counters, which gets you draw and other stuff off of the commanders. I think it's pretty cool.
Animar or Papa and the Boy.
Papa
Okay.
and the Boy.
I'm good with either one. Okay, you got chat excited about cat girls. Well, I don't know that we've seen an Animar deck, have we?
I don't think we have. I think let's give it a look.
Oh, I'm seeing cards in here for sure.
Just to ease everyone's minds who's curious. The Kratos and Atreus deck is what you would think. It's legendaries that I think, and gods that gives you experience counters, and then ways to turn those experience counters into like win conditions or power or whatever. So it's very good. I'm looking at it. It looks awesome. That's pretty much it.
I'm studying the Animar deck.
Yes.
Okay, let's do that one. Where's his description? He called it a high bracket 3, but I'm hiccuping. Sorry. If it's just a goofy Animar deck that has won on turn 4 a couple times, it's an atrocious deck, hence the name. And the name of the deck is the name of the. Read the deck name.
Animar Atrocities. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's really good, actually.
For those who are unaware, Animar is a 3-mana 1/1 that has protection for white and black, and whenever you cast a creature spell, you put a 1/1 counter on him. And creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each 1/1 counter on Animar. So you're looking for things with a lot of generic mana cost in them, and big guys at that. And it's in Teamer.
Or X spells, which I think there's 5 of.
X creatures.
Yeah, X creatures, excuse me. Hangerback Walker. I guess that's fair. Or Walking Ballista. He has Marketback Walker. Okay. It's so. Oh, I love Pride of Hulklade. It's so easy to take Animar and just be like, I'm gonna play free guys, and then like put everything into a Walking Ballista, and then hee hee ha ha. Like, I like the mix of like regular creatures that do cool things in this deck.
Yes.
Oh wait, there's a Hullbreaker Horror. Never mind. Get this out of here.
Why is Ruin Crab in the deck?
Why isn't Ruin Crab in the deck?
No. I want a real answer to this. Why is Ruin Crab in the deck?
I think the real answer is that he's a 1-mana trigger for Animar, which functionally refunds the mana.
Yeah, that's true.
I
guess you have to play small guys. Oh, Fogbank, epic. I love Fogbank.
I think that's why Wayward Guide Beast is in too.
Yeah.
You know, those are funny because like those could be 1 mana 0/0s, and like it would still be fine because it's Animar.
Oh
it used to be Landfall. Okay. Hence the Omnath.
I see.
It's cool. I would call those like a deck's scars, right? Like you have put it through the trials and tribulations, and like you can look back and be like, this is where this came from, but it's still here, and it does serve a purpose, right? Like what's better to put in that slot? Like probably a Llanowar Elves, but like I don't think that like bumps you up any win percentages or anything.
Yeah, I mean, it might bump you up win percentages if you do that like 8 times, but I don't know if you really need to, or even if you want to. So, like, here's something else that I could do. I could be like, why aren't you running Eldrazi? I know why you're not running Eldrazi. I know why you only have one of them, and it's Oblivion Sower, and it's because it just takes land. It doesn't do any of the horrendous shit or not as much as the horrendous shit as like most of the Eldrazi do. So like I get it. I get it. Really
Sorry,
do.
the first time chatter said vestigial crab. Yeah, exactly.
know,
It's a
that is
vestigial-
huge.
vestigial crab. Right,
Dude,
yeah, it's
best
leftover.
first time chatter
That's
ever.
so good. Wait a minute. Why is there a doubling season in here? Hang on. I thought we were playing fair teamer. Wait a minute. Wait a
Wait a
minute.
second.
There's an infinite in the
Wait
deck.
a. Well, what is it?
Yeah.
Impact Tremors plus Ancestral Statue.
Yeah.
Or I guess just
Oh, yeah, 'cause it-
Animar and Ancestral Statue in general.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that card really does say return a non-land permanent. It doesn't say another, huh? Wow.
That's really funny.
I mean, look, you got to win the game at some point, but you know that feels kind of bad because it's like when you just like kind of sit down with your boys and that's in your opening hand. Like, what are you not gonna get to like 4 mana?
Yeah. Yeah, it's really funny because if you have 5 mana and Ancestral Statue, you're like, I play Ancestral Statue, I bounce it, I play it again, 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 I bounce it. And then your Animar has 1 bazillion counters on it, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. Very good. Yeah,
You see the
kind of
interaction?
Animar and Ancestral by itself is crazy. No, I want to be super clear. There are 45 creatures in the deck. There's 2 instants. It's Negate and Noxious Revival, which means that you're only really protecting yourself from 1 non-creature spell sometimes. Once every, like, I guess 8 games. Yeah, this is pretty good. Oh, we have Etheric Amplifier in the deck because I'm sure you needed more 1/1 counters. I'm sure that was the stopping point for the deck. Hey,
you know
playing
what's
so many creatures. Why do you not have like Garruk's Uprising in this deck? I feel like it's such an easy include.
Oh yeah, draw cards. It's funny though because when you play Animar, if you've never played against Animar before, when anyone is like looking at it and it has like 30 counters, they're like, all right, it's time for us to kill Animar. Animar has to go. Like, who can handle it? Like, all the players with removal go, yeah, it has protection from white and black. What the fuck are we going to do? Like, you can't murder it. Yeah, you can't murder it. You can't swords it. So, like, you have to, like, bounce it. And that, like, doesn't really solve the problem. It just kind of puts it on layaway.
Yeah.
So, it's definitely a very fun
white
thing.
black is crazy.
I like Animar. I think it's cool. I really like the choices here. And Papa Doughboy in chat says they choose not to play Ancestral Statue, which I think is like the best thing you can do with it, to be honest. Like, it's in the deck for games that like you clearly are trending towards higher power. But like holding back in this deck is definitely a choice. And it seems like you've done that here on purpose, right? Like, I don't see that many like obvious infinite synergies that could exist. And you've chosen to play like, I guess, Garruk's Horde or Foundation Breaker, like just cards that are like good. You can play guys off the top, or you can, you know, do some like enchantment or whatever removal. Like, I'm not seeing like a focused game plan for infinite bounces and plays or infinite combats or whatever. I'm sure you'll get there, but it feels like you have kept the reins in on purpose, and I think that's great for a deck like this.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at the deck, right? And I'm thinking that what is going to happen is you play Animar on 3. The deck doesn't really ramp. I think the only ramp it has is Scaled Herbalist. The deck doesn't really ramp. So you play Animar on 3. Then, after that, you play a creature. Then you pass. Then you play another creature on your next turn. I think you're just going to play a big creature every turn until the end of the game. You have Shivan Dragon in the deck.
Oh, based. That card wins games.
Yeah, it's like very, very cool. But also, like, I'm not going to... This is going to shatter everybody in chat's minds. Maybe even my co-hosts here. I think that you just play creatures and then swing. That's the deck.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
That's crazy.
That's fucked up.
Dude.
That's fucked up. Well, he has Questy
That's
Beast, so yeah.
crazy. Yeah. How? What? That's crazy.
Correct.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Although I will say, all will be one is a bit of fun tech. It's whenever you put one or more counters on a permanent or a player, this enchantment deals that much damage to target opponent, creature, and opponent controls, or planeswalker and opponent controls. Yeah, it's like you'd be putting a lot of counters on Animar, and then you just like laser beam people, and like that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah. I have to say that in a year and a half, when the Lego movie main set for Magic comes out and they release the enchantment that says whenever you put 1/1 counters on one creature, put it on each other creature that you control, that card's going to go crazy in this deck in a year and a half. That card's going to go absolutely bazongas. Holy.
I like the deck. I think it's good.
Yeah, I mean, not to sound like, you know, I'm avoiding an issue here, but what else is there to say? The deck is good. You're going to play guys. You're going to pay cheaper for them. Animar is going to have counters. The enemies are either going to be able to block and remove or they're not. And I don't think that they're going to. You're going to be paying so little for so many of these creatures.
Pretty great.
Yeah, good. It's good. Put one more Eldrazi in there just for fun. Put Anti-Causal Vestige in the deck.
The last thing I'll address is someone in chat asked, is Animar still scary to play against? I've been wanting to make a deck with him, but he's got a rep. Yeah, he's got a rep. And there's a reason he's got a rep. It's because he's hard to kill. And he gets huge. And he does ramp on his own. He's a very strong commander for a reason. I feel like if you've never played against Animar, it's easy to discount a Teamer little silly guy. But if you played against Animar, it doesn't matter how many years have passed. Like, you know that the deck can be strong. So I take that with a grain of salt.
It's like seeing a Muldrotha deck. Like, I feel like Muldrotha doesn't get played very often anymore. But when you see one, you're like, oh shit, okay,
100%.
I have to remember what happened, or I have to know.
Even if someone tries to fucking sell you on the fact that all they're playing is like oops all baddies in the deck, like it's still Muldrotha. Like, what am I?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
What am I gonna do here?
Yep. Oh, they're running a little interaction. They have Foundation Breaker in the deck.
There you go.
Yeah, that's fun. Mystic Snake. They're running a counterspell. They have 2 counterspells.
Wow. Oh my god. The deck it's going crazy. It's going to bump at the CP.
Okay. I actually think it's kind of interesting. I like it.
I like the deck a lot. I think it's great.
You should put the Flash Fairy in this deck. That would be fun. Give all your creatures Flash. Just for the fun of it. Put Yeva in the deck.
Yeah, that'd be cool. What the fuck is the name of that? High Fae Trickster?
Yeah, High Fae Trickster.
Yeah, that's a cool card. That's a cool card.
High Fae Trickster.
Hello.
All right, I think that this deck is a 10.
10?
Yeah, it's so funny. It's so funny.
I like it a lot. I am gonna go. It's supposed to be good creature guys. I'm gonna go 9/5. I feel like I personally would play more utility lands.
Yeah,
no,
for sure.
I would play more utility lands, but like this is a choice. It's a choice. I'll leave it there. I like it a lot. I think there's smarter choices as well, but
I would try and add more stuff that draws cards, obviously, and also stuff that gives your stuff trample. Because or flying, because you need some sort of evasion in a deck that's just creatures, because otherwise, like, people always have shit to kind of mess with, you know, such raw strategy. So Garrux does that so much, and I feel like finding stuff kind of like it would be good. But I really like the deck. Dude, I was thinking the same thing, dog.
Thank you.
For real. Spin. Garrett LW, here you are. Oh, a solid bracket 4 deck. The goal is to mill, loot, or wheel yourself into healthy graveyard of 3 CMC or less options. While you counterspell everything and blink things for value, use Shiko to come out of the graveyard and rip the whole yard with Displacer Kitten. Ignore timing restrictions. Yeah. This is a Cheddar. Are you here? Are you here, Garrett? Are you here with us today?
Someone said I see you in Twitch chat.
I feel like a spirit medium. Are you here with us, Garrett? Are you here with us today, Garrett? Are you here with us today?
Hey.
Okay.
Awesome.
is this inspired by the standard deck that ran Shiko in it? That was from, I think, literally when Tarkir Dragonstorm was released, because it sounds like it was to me. Man, this deck is so.
While we're waiting for him, what is the Shiko standard deck? Like, give us some context.
I mean, it just used Shiko to reanimate things that had like costs that were not like. Do you know the Duskmourn big floating eyeball that I think is worth like 2 mana?
A poor Oculus, maybe?
Yeah, a poor Oculus. It was trying to do stuff like that, where it was just reanimating gross things. And then it used counter spells and Shiko to kind of do a bunch of gross things. That standard deck was really cool. I don't ever think it was. Well, no, it was pretty good, wasn't it? But anyway, I love this kind of gameplay style of like. One, it's reanimation, and two, it's copying stuff. Like those are the two things that I like the most.
Well, let's talk about the commander, because it's a very interesting commander and creature for like this particular color scheme. It's a 5 mana flying vigilance 4/5, so not like the perfect rate for power, but very strong when you consider the keywords in Jeskai. And when it enters, exile target non-land permanent with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard, copy it, then you may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. Yeah. So you get, it's like Graveyard Reanimator, but you still cast it, and it has the same like finality effect in colors that don't usually get those kinds of colors or those kinds of like mechanics in the game without like real drawbacks. But the fact that it uses the stack again is so interesting, because like they can respond, but they're responding to a card that's like already out of the game anyway. So it's like, it's such a wild decision choice.
I like the idea of using it to ignore timing restrictions, because obviously you'd be able to cast sorceries on other people's turns if you can find a way to blink Shiko, which I think is really, really easy. And doing things like reanimating creatures like at instant speed, and also doing things like Blasphemous Act on an end step of like the person before you, like really, really cool. Well, I guess not Blasphemous Act because it's too high CMC, but it's important to remember that this says exile non-land card, not creature. So you can ostensibly like reanimate or cast from the graveyard like anything that's not super high value, which is really cool. I really like the idea of the deck.
You know, non-land card is interesting too, because like it turns an ephemerate into a counterspell.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it does.
Isn't that cool?
It really does.
That's pretty neat. Man, where would I even go with something like this? Well, obviously, literally every blink possible in the world, which I do see a good number of them.
Yeah.
And like
Teferi Time Raveler, yay! Oh, so
I wasn't gonna. Three fairy cannot hurt me. I'm not gonna talk about him. He isn't real. So there's nothing I can do. I don't want to talk about him. He isn't real.
Oh no! Oh, Teferi! Oh, his invitation got lost in the mail. Oh no! Looks like you're gonna have to take that out and put something else in. What a bummer!
Yeah. You know
Darn.
what's really
maybe next time.
What's really BM is that you can cast 3 fairy like in their upkeep. It'd just be like, you think they were planning on like comboing off this turn? Probably not. And then just like cast 3 fairies so they can't like hold priority on stacks or anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now here's a question for you: mill or no mill in this?
That's tough. I would say mill. I like mill. I think it's good. I think this is a played out statement, but I need to say it to our audience in case you haven't seen it elsewhere. Mill is not a cringe way to play the game. I'm sorry that I know that you wanted to play your deck and you're seeing it go to the graveyard, but it's just like every other win condition. It's fine. I think that it goes in the deck, and I think it's cool.
I think that there's definitely the upper end of the strategy, which is like a very like dredge heavy, like no interaction resource, like question mark kind of deck. But there's definitely a healthy middle ground. To be honest, though, this might be one of the only decks where I actually would be happy to play the 50 copies of like red instant and sorcery, discard 1, draw 2.
Yeah,
because in this deck, it's really good. Like tormenting voices and demand. And what's the Laughing Mad or whatever, Big Score,
Yeah.
all those other ones, like they end up being like put my best card into my second bandolier and get ready.
Yeah. I really like the idea of getting to pop stuff on other people's turns that they really don't expect, like hexing Squelcher at instant speed to respond to somebody counterspelling you, or Grand Abolisher at the end of somebody's turn, or
like Lumineers,
yeah. Or Lauren of the Third Path at instant speed out of your graveyard to destroy a combo piece. Holy shit, this deck seems so funny in like such a
really cool,
twisted and malevolent way. I love this.
I like it a lot too. I'm trying to think of like what I would improve. You know what, actually, the thing that's cool about this deck is it's a timeless deck. I talk about this often as like the best decks in Commander are ones that like when new sets come out, you don't have to break apart your identity and you can play new cool cards. This is perfect. It has a restriction, it has an identity, it has something that I think that like makes a lot of sense for you to keep a lookout for, particularly like 3-costed or less stuff, and more importantly, new blinks. So I think just keeping your eyes on this, like in the future, like will they print more blinks? Absolutely. Like this deck stocks keep going up.
Yeah. I also really like seeing, that this deck has a card like Underworld Breach in it. If you are shooting for a 4 and you have a deck that likes to wheel and mill, Underworld Breach is like an easy way to just say, hey guys, it's getting to that point in the game. If you can't deal with this, let's just go to game 2 or 3. Like there's no harm done. It's like you have a very clear way to end the game, and if people respond, they respond, and you keep going, and if they don't, then the game is over. It's fine. That's how somebody has to win at some point. So it's awesome to see that card sort of like, I feel like people really don't like to run Underworld Breach because it's like, I'm not running a CEDH deck. Why would I put it in the deck? Well, because it's still cool. It's still cool, even if you're not doing it as a super combo piece. Like, I don't know. I like it. I really, really like it. Mesmeric Orb, my beloved.
So here's the question. How do you win with this deck? Is it just I have a 4/5 in the air and you can't stop me because I have a control deck?
I think kind of.
No, they have
I guess
Breach
that's
Freeze.
true. I guess. Go
ahead, Zach.
They have Jessica's Will, which can let you exile your whole library and make a fuck ton of red mana with Underworld Breach. But you can also do, if you have Displacer Kitten out with a Mana Rock, and then you play Brain Freeze with Underworld Breach, you can storm out and mill everyone's library.
Brain freeze. Okay. I was scrolling through earlier. I did not recognize the popsicle art. It totally did not register. I was like, I didn't even think about that as a card. God, fucking that art is crazy.
Dualcaster Narset's Reversal also.
Yeah, I really like something that I think chat and us even can really learn from is that this is a deck that runs combos that win the game and it doesn't make it CEDH. Something that I want people to think and really let this set in, and maybe it's going to feel wrong at first. Thassa's Oracle combo does not necessitate CEDH. Using a combo to win the game can feel like you're playing competitively, but if you're at a bracket 4 table and you're not tutoring with fast mana on turn 2 for a game-winning combo, then what this ends up being is like I'm actually playing a control strategy that draws a bunch of cards, and at some point I have flexible combo pieces. That is like the oldest invention in card game history. And that doesn't mean that was competitive or, whatever. It's a style of play, just like playing tiny bodies and then buffing them up, or playing reanimation, or playing aggro is a strategy. I really like this deck. I think that this deck is sort of iconic and there's a word that I'm looking for that means that it's sort of like the paragon of an idea. It epitomizes
pinnacle?
This, or pinnacle of like this sort of like control into combo deck. I really, really like it. I would give this deck a 10 easy. I think it's so cool, so interesting. I'm just looking at the card selection. It seems so like well refined. I don't know if I could build a deck this good, to be honest. This is really great. I love it. I love this deck.
Sneezing episode. Blazing.
How could you sneeze?
Bro, I wish I had been bored with better allergies. Blazing Fire Singer. I played it in a game we filmed yesterday or the day before. It's the dwarf. It's a 3-mana 2/3. It comes in prepared, and it's a stapled spell. It's Seething Song. I feel like if you're playing Blink and your plan is to cast a bunch of spells, 5 red mana for 3 is pretty good. I saw chat mention it as well. It's definitely a cool card, an interesting card, and it's an example of a modern mechanic that like is making this kind of deck more, is giving you more decision points. It doesn't necessarily have to go in, but the deck itself, in my opinion, is a 10 out of 10. I really like it. I do see that there aren't that many utility lands, but to be honest, like, you probably have a lot of decision points to make anyway. It's not the worst thing. That's probably where I would go, is try to find a couple of lands that might give you some more choices or chances of things to do. But I think it's great. It's great.
I keep thinking about things that I want to put in the deck, and then I look and I'm like, oh, it's already here. Like Sink into Stupor, obviously, I feel like is an include. And then I was looking for a bunch of the other MDFCs, and I was like, you know what I would put in here? Probably Hydroelectric Specimen. It gets underplay. Oh, it's here. The only thing that I think is missing that you could include is like Otawara. Like Otawara is a level of protection that I think that you could use, but like the deck is so good. It's awesome.
W deck.
W deck. I love it. I'm giving it a 10. It's an easy
W
10.
deck. W deck. That's cool. That's cool. I could
love this
being played on a your deck day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, by the way, chat, I know we didn't talk about like doing that explicitly on the stream, but like this week, that idea came up. So I think that probably will, we're keeping a sharp eye on decks, especially today and then the next go around.
Yeah.
All right,
let's wheel it. I'm aspartaming the monster inside me.
That's dude. I'll get that on a shirt. That's really good.
This is what we call host synergy. you say aspartaming, and then we finish each other off in a lot of ways. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Oh, returner, big returner.
Let's see.
Kill the boys out of nowhere with extra combats. Oh, good. Oh, good. If you had to justify a villain's actions from a video game or from a game, what villain are you choosing? That's just a question. That's an interview question for me and Ryan.
That's an easy one for me.
Oh, who are you justifying?
Let me take you to a world where giant mega companies are making shitty towns where they're literally poisoning and killing the planet. That's not this world. It's Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
Pick any of the people who are exploding those reactors. Those were the heroes. Just kidding. It's Sephiroth. He wants to bring the company down too. It's definitely Sephiroth.
Yeah.
And now I will say the part where you bring the giant meteor down and destroy the whole world, that maybe I don't agree with. But like the early stuff is fine. The early stuff is fine.
Yeah. Oh man, I was about to say something that was maybe a little bit over the top.
That's a good
who
card,
am I justifying in a video game for being a bad guy? Oh man, I feel like it's been so long since I've played like a video game that just has a bad guy, because I play like multiplayer games mostly. I don't know. I'm gonna cook on that one. Well, let's look at the deck and I'll cook on that.
Maybe Slay the Spire lore, actually.
Yeah, because when you look, I don't know how many of you are in the Slay the Spire lore, but the idea is that the Spire is actually the good guy and you're kind of trying to destroy it because you're being possessed by Niao, but Niao was exiled and we don't know if that was likely, or we don't know if that was justified or not. I don't know. It's tough. Doofenshmirtz? Yeah, I'll take Doofenshmirtz. Thank you, Chad. Yeah. Okay, we're looking at the Emperor of Palamecia, which is a 2-mana mana rock creature. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, if at least 4 mana is spent, put a 1/1 counter on it. Then if it has 3 or more 1/1 counters, you flip into the Lord Master of Hell. Whenever the Lord Master of Hell attacks, it deals X damage to each opponent, where X is the number of non-creature, non-land cards in your graveyard. Whoa!
Yeah,
That's
and they
cool.
said combats, right? So it's like whenever it attacks, guess
Yeah.
what? It's gonna be attacking. Like that's the plan. But even
Before we
dude, go ahead.
before we even get into it, I've never seen a deck like this before because I've never seen this commander before, and that's really cool.
I've seen this card before, and just let me ask you a question: would you play this card if the back didn't exist?
Oh, that's tough. If the back didn't exist, this would just be VV but on ketamine. Like this would be the slowest, most like ugly, most distracted VV I've ever seen. So probably not.
But it's an uncommon, right? So like I feel like from a design space without a
I
back,
guess it's true.
it still already makes sense. Like it's a 2 mana like commander that can tap for mana. Like it's already pretty good in the uncommon slot. It just goes to show you how ridiculously pushed the Final Fantasy set was because they were like, you know what?
Yeah.
Staple a whole ass back to it. Staple the whole fucking back.
They reprinted Ruby from Wilds of Eldraine, but they put a back on her and gave her Is It, which is
Yeah.
like crazy.
That's wild. Okay. Ooh, Agitator Ant. There's Battle Squad for the combats. Arcanus
wait.
the Omnipotent. Okay.
Oh, wait.
Interesting. Okay,
This
new
is cool.
Ashlings in here. Have you seen Assassin Den?
No?
I feel like I missed that card. That's actually so
What
funny.
even is this?
It's like the secret bookshelf.
Huh.
It's a blue 4-drop creature. If you're looking for it,
Huh.
Zach.
How interesting.
Assassin Den. It starts with an A. There it is. It's a 4-minute 2/4 defender, but you can pay 4 to Rogue's Passage something, and it gives a counter.
Interesting.
I mean, I definitely know why it's in this deck. It's just such a like arsenal pull. Like you really had to go to the dusty section of the library for this one, and it's just fantastic. I think it's really cool.
This deck is pretty cool, dude. Wow.
And thought out, I would say Coral Helm Guide. I do not think it's a lot of love at all.
Yeah. Really like this I really like this deck, dude. I'm looking at it. I really like this deck.
Maybe Zach would know better. Zach, in CDH and Agila decks, do they play on blockability effects like Coral Helm Guide?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
That
either.
is so expensive.
Agila's
Yeah, I
fallen
agree.
out
It's expensive.
out of the meta though.
Wow. Ripping just the raw concentrate and weight of memory. A 4 and 5 cost to just draw 3 card spells, pretty much. That's crazy. Oh, I guess it's because
wild.
you're in Paramecia, which means that you want to cast higher. Okay.
That makes sense.
It makes me so upset, but VV
you,
works
Penguin.
so well in this deck, and you need the mana. The mana is so good. Oh, don't run VV. You're better than that. You're stronger. You're stronger than me. I would have put VV in this deck because I'm weak and a baby and an idiot.
I'm looking around for the 4-cost stuff. You do definitely have to be smart with those choices. I think they did a good job.
Yeah.
Oh, even Genji Glove, yeah.
Oh, I love Scattered
Rewind.
Thoughts because it's drawing 2 and putting 2 in graveyard. Oh, nice.
Oh, damage doublers. Lots of damage doublers. Wow.
Oh my gosh, putting lifelink on Paramecia.
Pretty funny. Oh, yeah. 'Cause it was the damage.
Holy. Yes. Wow.
How many damage doublers did you put in here? 6?
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
The 5? The fuck?
Oh, that's great. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay. I get the concept, right? Like you said, the infinite combats will flip the guy. You know, he's got an evasive thing or two, just to make sure you can squeak in 1 or 2 of those attacks like unblocked or undealt with. It definitely has like I would say the path less traveled in Magic kind of cards. But I think that just adds character. I really like the deck. I
Yeah,
think
me too.
like the previous deck, I'd say probably you could benefit from more utility lands, especially because Paramecia already lets you tap for red or blue if you need it in a pinch. But otherwise, it's amazing. It's amazing. What the fuck? Did you read what they said on YouTube?
Oh my
This-
gosh.
They said the best this deck has done was 132 damage on one turn with 4 cards in the graveyard. What the fuck?
Oh my goodness. Oh
I-
my.
That's crazy. That's really, really funny. I like it a lot. I want to give you a 9/5 because you have room in the utility lands, but I really like the concept, so I'll go to 10.
You know what I want to say? And this just relates directly back to what I said in the last review. A card that I think goes really, really well in this, that maybe people would be afraid to put in, is Underworld Breach. Because let's say the one card in your graveyard was like your draw 2, discard 1, and you didn't get the gas that you wanted out of it. Getting to replay that card, or getting to replay like Overblaze, or getting to replay Bolt Bend, well, I guess not Bolt Bend, but like some of the stuff that is not as big, or even like, let's say Full Throttle, if you could cast that twice in a turn, I feel like Underworld Breach really does well to sort of create an opportunity for consistency in this deck that I think would be good. And are you already in a bracket 4? I think you are, right? Oh no, it says bracket 3. So maybe if you were increasing to bracket 4, you would do something like that. But I feel like that card actually goes really well in this deck.
I think Breach is anti-synergy.
You think it's anti-synergy?
Yeah, because escape exiles from your graveyard.
You have to be careful to prune the graveyard, is what he means.
Oh, that's true.
And not eat it. It's possible that you could, but like you'd have to find another way to get fodder in there. You know what I mean? People,
Yeah.
I've seen a couple people mention like traumatize effects, which it just says put half your deck into the graveyard. I fucking love that. Or cut your losses, right?
Yeah.
So I think that those are really funny gas pieces, but like absolutely not a requirement. Although 1000%, I would play traumatize in this deck, and it would target me.
I'm wondering, I guess, to justify what I'm trying to say is that I'm wondering if there's ever a time where the -3 in the yard is worth like the extra combat that you would get out of it, right? Like, I think maybe, but probably less often than I'm thinking. Yeah, probably a little bit anti-synergy, I think.
Well,
way better.
The extra
Cut your losses
combats
way
is
better.
to get the additional attack trigger. So if you're moving more cards out of the yard, then it's like, I don't know. It's a net damage loss.
We're adjusting like it becomes addition into multiplication, right? So like if we're getting multiple combats but -3 in the total, is it better to have those 3 to not have an additional combat entirely? Right.
I think that they like the flexibility of the discussion you guys are having, because if it was just about infinite combats, they would cut all the damage doublers and put more cards in that would be like, I want more combats to just make it happen.
Yeah.
And so I think that they kind of like the idea of doing both. So it's definitely, I think there's some room to grow in both.
I think that generally it would be less good than it would be good. I think, but it's definitely interesting. I'm wondering. Something that I'm thinking is that having more like mana stuff. Sorry.
No. Go ahead. Mine's non sequitur.
I was gonna say that having more mana stuff like Ember of Palamecia might be good, but I feel like you might not even need it. Like things like Seething Song, I feel like would fit in, but I don't even know if you really need stuff like that. Like that might be too short term.
I mean, maybe they like definitely need a way to flip the guy. Like I think that's why they're playing cards like Hedron Archive and like Stone Speaker Crystal and stuff like that. The rocks that do the same, so it's probably not out of their own possibilities. Oh yeah, Nibelheim of Flame.
Also, shore up in Magic Damper, put more 1/1 counters and protect your commander at the same time. I think that those are super worth looking at. Okay, you were gonna say something about a chatter.
Yeah, he was talking about his 162 power Bristly Bill. You know what you did. You know what you did. You know what you did.
Okay.
No, I agree. Nibelheim of Flame is probably the #1 card I'd put in this deck.
Yeah. Yeah.
It does all the things you want. It does everything. It does everything you want.
I love Amphin Path Mage. Something that I'm wondering about Coral Helm Guide and Amphin Path Mage, which is the activated ability of making something unblockable. How many times are you benefiting from having that text on something that's permanent on the board versus running something like slip through space? You know, like, do you think that slip through space being a one time is bad enough that even though it draws you a card and goes into the yard to increase your power, that it's not good and you would prefer to have like an engine on the table that can do it consistently? Or do you think that the like consistency of a creature that provides you this effect repeatedly for a cost is better than having a bunch of one-time evasion in the deck?
I think it's a little column A, little column B. They also said that like they were aiming for budget cards. Not saying that Slip Through Space isn't, but I feel like if it's a non-creature and it's not a 4-drop, it's probably better to have more like recursive times that you could do it. One, like to be able to do it every other turn or whatever you're going to need to. But two, I also feel like those kinds of creatures maybe don't, like at first they don't eat removal, but like later in the game, like they might lightning bolt like your Coral Helm Guide or whatever, and then you just have another one in your hand. Like you might be able to like bait out plays with it. It 50-50.
Yeah. Something else I want to say is that the Lord Master of Hell says that it triggers when it attacks. So, by the time that it flips, it will be a 6/6 because it'll have 1/1 counters on it and it'll be a 3/3.
That's true.
How often are people killing it on the board and then you lose? Because I feel like you win if people block it on the board, or you would have other ways of protecting it. You know, whether it's buffing it or whatever. Like
Yeah,
I don't know if the unblockability is what I would do. I don't know though.
Well,
Dude,
so
it's so cool how different this can be.
agreed. Chad had a really good suggestion, which cards like slip out the back, which do phasing or something like that. You don't actually have to hit them. You just have to attack. So if you attack and phase out your own guy, that spell does double duty because if they try to kill your guy, you do the same thing.
Could you do Mazavith?
I think that's opponents only, but there are similar effects that untap attacking creatures.
Reconnaissance. Put reconnaissance in the deck.
Yeah, it's just imagine.
Yeah.
I already rated it. Did you?
I have not rated it. This is so cool and so unique. I think I'm giving it a 10.
Yeah, same. You have room for utility lands, but it's just really cool. It's really cool.
It's such an interesting idea.
You said that Box Brawl is going up at 4?
Yep.
Yes, sir. Also, I think that was last deck. Unless we want to speed run one.
We should speed run one more. Let's
speed run one more.
Yeah. We got 6 minutes because I want to make sure that
bonus deck
people are ready. That guy's videos are so good, by the way. Your Emperor deck is amazing.
Spinning the damn wheel.
Very, very cool.
All right. I know that guy. Let's see.
This person also submitted a lot too.
I keep typing in the actual spreadsheet. Sorry, boys.
Wait, what's the name? I didn't hear you say it.
Kobe.
Oh, Kobe. Oh yeah, this person has 3, maybe more.
3, it looks like.
Yeah, 3.
Azula. Yeah, you, Kobe. Yeah, you. Fane. And
bro, there's no way that you said a Toph power level 2 gets Sammy Spine for infinite landfall. There's no way that's a bracket 2, dude. Come on, really?
No. Look at Architect. It says bracket 2. It says bracket 2.
Of course. Oh man, guys, please stop using the Architect / Moxfield bracket.
It says bracket 2.
It doesn't know.
It says bracket 2. I don't know what you're talking about. Bracket 2. Well, the Fane one says he's got a game changer, so it's bracket 3. Does that make you feel any better? any of these calling to you?
Oh, I kind of like all of them.
Yeah, I think they all represent good commander decks, I think, to me.
Yeah.
Let me see here.
I wonder if our friend Kobe is in the chat and can
Yeah,
one for us.
He's here. Go quick, Kobe. Which one do you like the best?
Quick. Oh yeah, I forget that we're speedrunning.
True, Freljord, true. I mean, let's not forget that Commander Precons had fucking Dockside Extortionists in them. You know what I mean?
Thane is the newest. All right, cool. It's mono black sacrifice. I love it.
3 mana, 3/3.
Toph is my favorite. All right, wait, no. Toph is his favorite. We gotta go do Toph.
All right, let's go. We can dunk on Toph. All right, explain the infinite landfall thing combo that he was saying.
Okay, so Spine of Ish-Saw says that if it would, I think, explode, it doesn't. It says it enters, destroy target permanent. The Spine of Ish-Saw is put into a graveyard from the battlefield. Return Spine of Ish-Saw to the owner's hand. Then it says put Sammy out to get the combo, which I think it's Sammy Wildcat Captain, which gives your artifacts affinity for artifacts. Which is like, okay, you can basically make it free. And then finding some way to, or spells affinity for artifacts. And then finding some way to sacrifice it, I imagine. Which I feel like is not that hard. Just means that you get to destroy every single permanent on the battlefield.
That's hilarious. It's because Toph says that non-token artifacts you control are lands in addition to additional types. Yeah. So it's like there's infinite landfall synergies.
And then earthbending. Yeah, I guess it can just blast itself over and over and over and over and over again. Right?
Oh, yeah.
And then you could do something with that.
Yeah. That's really funny, actually. It's just infinite. It gives you infinite landfall triggers because they are lands. Like, where's your payoff for that?
I think
that's really funny.
Did you order it?
Omnath.
That Spine of Ish-Saw destroys itself and then tries to resolve I think you could order it that Earthbend would return it to the battlefield and then oh no, never mind.
Yeah. No, I don't think that works. Also, like, finding an Earthbend card that does it at that timing, I feel like is really hard. Maybe not possible. I don't know. I mean, I'm just looking at this deck, and I definitely think that this is stronger than a 2, but it seems epic. There's a card called Skateboard.
What do you mean?
Oh, okay.
What do you mean? I don't understand what you mean.
I didn't know that. I mean, now I just want to put every commander ever on a skateboard. Like, Omnath should go on a skateboard. Chase. Like, all of the Eldrazi should be on skateboards now.
From TMNT.
Yeah. I mean, it's a top deck. You're sacrificing a bunch of your artifacts because you can earthbend them. That's really cool. I don't see anything wrong with this deck.
Yeah, I'd say even like one thing I was looking for in a deck like this where you have the nuclear button is if you put like 50 copies of like the green creature tutors in. I'm not seeing that, which is like I think a good sort of vote in your favor that this isn't a bracket 4 secret like deck disguised as bracket 2 hell.
Yeah.
So like that, I think that's good. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with 2 or 3 card infinite combos, as it were, because you need Toph, Sammy, and the Spine that are like just kind of in the deck with no way to find them, because like you do got to win the game at some point, even in bracket 2, and I could see this happening on like turn 16.
Yeah. Oh man, Echoes of Eternity in this is making me upset.
I just yeah.
That's frustrating. All right, our video is going to come out in seconds. Let's rate the deck. Oh man, this seems like so much fun, and it seems like you're generating a lot of value off of recurring stuff. So I'm going to give it an 8 just because I like that a lot.
I'm gonna go with 9. My thing here is be careful. Echoes of Eternity requires 3 colorless mana. I don't see that many colorless sources. Except for probably in some of the artifacts. Just watch your curve. Add some utility lands. I think the deck is great.
Yeah, colorless and generic are different, and I think that maybe is being overlooked.
Elevator,
Yeah, elevator. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We have a YouTube video coming out for you right now. It's MCAM Box Brawl with Maldhound. Go give it a look, and thank you for sticking by us. If you have any final messages for us, or if we have anything for you, forever hold your peace. You know what I'm saying? But I think
That's
I'm
it.
good.
That's it.
All right, bye, guys.